Every financial year, I get this question from multiple freelancers that what ITR do we file, how much profit do we show, how much tax we have to pay, what is our tax liability gonna be, what are the pros and cons of this ITR, that ITR, ITR 1, 2, 3, or 4, and all that other kind of stuff. Now, see, let me be as real and as raw and brutally honest with you. A CA in India charges around 1000 to 1500 rupees on average for filing the returns. Given that you provide him all the data, you have all the income and expenses and other kind of stuff sorted out. So the less work the CA has to do, the lesser he is going to charge. The more work the CA has to do, the more he is going to charge. It is as simple as that. So you go to the CA, you tell them that this is what I do, this is how much I earn, and this is how much I spend, and this is the service that I provide, and this is how I get my money. Because as a freelancer, it's not necessary that you are just catering to domestic clients. When you are treating international clients, there are a few things that you need to consider. When you are just working with domestic clients, there are a lot of other things that you need to adjust with, that you need to take care of, and that changes. And that is why I'm saying it makes sense to get a professional to help rather than being the own professional. Because see, I am a commerce graduate and I have done my postgraduate as well, and I mastered in finance. And still, I have for GST, I have a person, for ITR, I have a person, for the legal matters, I have another person. And these guys, they help me out with all the stuff, because I cannot personally take the pain of doing everything and expect it to be known of everything that is there about taxation and GST and the laws, because that's not my job. I'm a marketer. My job is to market. My job is to make sure the clients I'm working with, they make money, and I help them do that. That is it. If I started it as my job to know about all the income and taxes and other stuff that we need to take care of, I would never be able to do my job properly. And that is what you need to figure out. So leave it to the CA. Get a CA. It is not worth it that you just save what? You save 3000 at max. It's not worth the pain. Now, in order to file your ITR in the most efficient way, I'm going to tell you what all you need. And that is very simple. You need to know how much money you are making in the year. You need to tell your CA how you are getting that money. What channel is it? If you have international clients, is it PayPal or is it something else? And if you are catering to, for example, just domestic businesses, then the entire thing is gonna be different. And if you have a GST number or not, that also depends on your CA and the kind of accountant you are with and what they advise you to. Because see, people say that freelancers should file ITR 3, they should file ITR 4, but there are legalities to it. In ITR 4, it is said that your income that you are earning is treated as a professional income. So if you have a degree in the service that you are providing, and again, this varies from CA to CA, so I will not go and confuse it more, because my method is simple. What I have told you is literally what I want you to do. Go hire a professional. Don't waste your time figuring all that things out, because the person, it's their job to figure that out and it's not your job. And to make it easier for them, tell them the sources of fund, tell them your expenses yearly, tell them everything that is there to know about your finance, which includes the channel of money it is coming, the percentage you are paying, the inward remittance documents. Like if you are catering to international clients, you need to get a FIRC or FIRA. It is just for the record. No one actually explicitly asks for it, but you should always have a record for the transactions you are making and the amount that is hitting your bank account, so that in case something happens, in case the authorities ask you that where did you got these funds from, you have a legitimate answer and you don't get into trouble later on, because you wouldn't want to get in the trouble with these departments, for sure. That is for sure. No one wants trouble, right? And the best way to avoid it is get a professional. I've repeated this so many times now. And give them all these documents, and then just do as they say. If you are not, you don't find the advice of one accountant suitable, explore other options. It might take you some thousands. Yes, you have to spend a couple of thousand of rupees. That is fine, but you are doing it, like, consider it as a business investment. Because think about it, if you spend 10 hours working on your client project, on anything else, and you make money out of those 10 hours, is it more worth it, or is it worth it that you spend multiple amount of hours, n number of hours, in figuring out a thing that you are not even sure at the end whether it is right or not. Because once you get an ITR notice, the game for you will become different. And it's not necessary you are gonna get an ITR notice, and it's not that I'm trying to scare you off. It's just that you need to know that things like that can happen, and you cannot afford to do that until unless you are a big businessman with lots of resources and other stuff. And for a couple of thousand, it never makes sense to avoid it. So your goal should be tax minimization, yes, but within the limits. And for that, you need to know about it, because even if you make an unintentional mistake and the department flags it, it's gonna be problematic. So I'm telling this to you from my experience that it's always better to use your money that you are earning to make your life easier and trust people with their jobs and oversee what they are doing, and then decide what you think is the best. Now, even if after watching this you feel like I should do it on my own and I can do it on my own, you're more than welcome to do it. No one is stopping you, no one can stop you actually once you decide what you want to do. But if you ask me for my advice, go get a CA, because see, I know ITR 3, I know ITR 4, I know what is professional income, I know how much percentage of profits you need to show, I know all that other kind of stuff. I am not a professional, I'm not a CA, and I'm not going to give that advice to anyone. Even if my friend is going to ask me, like I have recommended so many friends to my accountant or to the other people I know who are good in their work, because even if I say everything right to my knowledge and the other person messes up while filing, that's on me. And I don't want it to be on me. Simple as that. You want a solution? Go and pay the person who is actually doing the job for that. As simple as that.